And we are through to the semi-final stage. Andy Murray against Joe Wilfried-Tsonga, and these two have put on many memorable battles in the past, and they've played a couple of big tie-breaks, Annabelle. Going back to the first round in Australia, 2008, 7-6 in the fourth set, and a couple more big ones recently since then. Davis Cup last year at the Queen's Club, 3 sets to Murray, but a 12-10 second set tiebreak. And more recently, Wimbledon this year, that first set, a mammoth first set, 7-6, went Murray's way. You felt it was decisive in that match, a 12-10 win too. So they've played some big tiebreaks, but you always feel that Joe Wilfried-Tsonga are dangerous in a short format like this tiebreak tens.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, enormous respect for each other out here today. But, of course, Murray has the head-to-head record 13-2. And as you mentioned, their last meeting in that quarterfinals of Wimbledon, you have to go back to 2014 for when Tsonga beat him in Canada. But as you say, in a tiebreak formula, just this sort of one tiebreak penalty shootout, quick-fire tennis. I mean, it really could go either way. But, I mean, both of them have shown some fairly decent form, but Murray, I have to say, has been in almost unplayable form recently, hasn't he?
The recent form has been phenomenal, and over the last sort of 6-7 months, probably the best player in the world, points-wise, by far and away. But this is all new, this is quick, this is tiebreak tens. What will these two produce for us?
Well, that's been corrected by the line judge himself.
For me, it's also on the line. For me, it's also on the line.
Confirmed by the umpire.
We played a point.
I think Andy Murray agrees with that.
Well, it's interesting because they only have the one challenge, so they want to use it wisely. And Andy's wondering, I guess the very least he knows he can get a let and a first serve, which still leaves him as favourite.
That's just not what he wanted, having what he thought was got the first point under his belt. Thrown across a double fault right there.
So, someone like Andy Murray, so much of his game is about wearing his opponents down. You don't get as long to do that in this format. It makes him possibly a little more vulnerable. On the other hand, he's also capable of breaking just about at will. Beautiful touch. How many times, how much, you know, they're playing for a nice pot today, but how much money has that shot earned it over time?
Oh my goodness, when his career is said and done, we will look back on this particular shot, the lob, one of the greatest we've ever seen. And that's what players do, isn't it, when they're up against Andy Murray? They snatch at balls and they think they have to do a little bit more with it. They go closer to the lines.
Well, the truth of it is you do have to do a little bit more with it, don't you? Because the speed is so phenomenal, and I think, having said that, Tsonga will still be disappointed at that miss. You just definitely feel getting through, getting closer, the tension which they've talked about has just ramped up another notch.
No mistake over that smash. Another great serve from Andy Murray, straight down the centre tee, gets the short reply, and no problems putting that one away. So racing to a 4-1 lead, having served the double fault for the opening point of this tiebreak. So got some work to do out here, Joe Wilfried-Tsonga.
Just giving himself a little bit more to do. 5-1, that's quite a deficit against Andy Murray, who looks determined. To be fair, a little untested so far. As you said, the weaker of the two groups faced Marcus Willis and Eben Izovich, as opposed to Songa, who's faced Dominic Thiem and Tommy Haas. But it's been all business for Murray after the double fault to kick this tiebreak off. But since then, very impressive. Well, he's persisted with a casual mode on the volley, Songa, hasn't he? Just about cost him early on. This was a beautiful approach shot back behind Murray, and he still made Songa work for it. Dipping and low, had to be precise.
Yeah, as you said earlier, Miles, it's a surface that if you don't quite get, behind the ball, or you don't get hold of it on the strings, it sort of seems to just fizzle out, doesn't it?
Left. Second service.
That is sensational. That is vintage Andy Murray, isn't it? How many times have we seen him do that over the course of his career as well?
Yeah, it's been clear that Songa's tactics have been get forward and attack Murray, but just, that's the question he poses of his opponents, to make those decisions all the time. Songa may be just a little too deep in the court.
I'm not happy with that backhand in the net.
No, he won't be. I mean, it drives him nuts giving away the free points. Something that's been a mark of his career, and particularly of his success recently. We've talked so much about how he makes his opponent earn each and every point. Cheap one there for Songa.
Well, when you look at the year that he's had, I mean, it's just been a phenomenal run, hasn't it? Particularly starting in Rome, where he beat world number one Novak Djokovic, and then, of course, reached his first French Open final, losing out to Djokovic there. Then went on an absolute steam, didn't he? Winning in Queens, and his second Wimbledon title, went to the Olympics, won there for the second time as well. Just had a phenomenal second half to the year. And still looks to be improving in every department. He's varied his second serve more. He's been able to free up the first. Oh, curse of the commentators.
If we get a nasty look up here, Animal, that's all yours. But went for an aggressive one. 116 km/h mark, and that's Steve Kutzer, also known as Speedo, along with Matt Little, responsible for Andy's physical well-being and fitness, and boy, what a job those two have done, built on top of the work that Jez Green did with him. One of the finest athletes in the world. It was an awkward return down low, and this court just very sticky, an abrasive surface of the ball, almost if you can imagine a ball landing on Velcro. It's not going forward, and if the feet aren't up there, very easy to be left sort of reaching for it. Murray, who had built a nice lead, is now just probably a touch concerned. And I think, Tsonga's has a great forehand, although he's missed a few to Jamie Delgado, who's been at the helm for so much of his success recently. He does miss more in the back, but I think a lot of it's, for me, shot selection. I mean, that wasn't really the right shot, was it?
No, going for too much there and losing control on the racket face. And had his opportunities there to level the scoreline.
Yeah, back in from a deficit to 7-6 down, and I just don't see the backhand line as a value shot there.
And now he's thrown in the double fault as well, and that hands across a match point to Andy Murray to make his second tiebreak tens final. Because, of course, he finished runner-up last year to Kyle Edmund, losing out 10-7 in that tiebreak. But here's another opportunity. Oh, a good move from Joe Wilfried Tsonga. Didn't really hit the cleanest of forehands. It sort of wrapped round the strings a little bit, that one. But then the attack to the net, putting the pressure on Andy Murray to come up with the goods. And not able to do so on that occasion.
Well, he's such a great athlete, Tsonga. We've talked about Murray, but Tsonga too, so explosive and very capable around the net. The pressure he can put on just by being there, evident with that miss.
And that gets the job done. So Andy Murray is into his second tiebreak tens final. And he'll await the winner of the next matchup between Goran Ivanisevic and Dominic Thiem. So big smiles at the net. I'm sure Joe Wilfried Tsonga feels he gave it his all out there. He certainly posed a few questions, but Andy Murray never in doubt.
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, maybe the level of tennis in that match wasn't so good. Both of us made quite a lot of mistakes, so maybe we need to play better in the final.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks.
So, as you heard, they're not happy with his performance, but he's into the final. We're into a break.
Dominik, in Kürze geht's los hier mit deinem Semifinale gegen Goran Ivanisevic. Kannst du dich eigentlich noch erinnern, als er gespielt hat?
Sicher, wie er Wimbledon gewonnen hat 2001, glaube ich, war einer der dramatischsten und auch schönsten Momente im Sport überhaupt. Also ich bin natürlich auch vor dem Fernseher gesessen und habe mit ihm mitgefiebert und auf jeden Fall ein absoluter Ausnahmespieler und schaut noch richtig fit aus, obwohl er noch nicht so alt ist.
Goran, Dominic was just saying that he remembers your special victory in Wimbledon 2001 and that you still look very fit. So what's so special and what was special and still is today about Goran's game?
Well, obviously his serve. I mean, it's so accurate and fast still. I'm a little bit scared of it.
Okay, Dominic's a little scared of it. Goran, come to us. Well, what can you say to Dominic?
I think he's, in my opinion, he can be future #1. Definitely Grand Slam champion. Amazing tennis player, great guy. And, I don't know, it's going to be fun. I have nothing to lose. So my body hurts badly. And I need to play 2 more matches. But let's have fun.
Well, all right. So, guys, come up here.